Hello, I'm Gillian Harris, and I'm the owner of a company called Gillian Gladrack. Also the owner of the Fluffatorium, which is the wool and craft shop here in Dorking. So it's here at my shop that the story began about 6 years ago. Women of all ages started to meet weekly and perform periodic transformations of Dorking town. Keen not to be identified or recognised, these knitters quickly became known as the undercover guerrilla knitters of Corking and Dorking. Things in Dorking started to change. Some things did not always appear as they seemed and were transformed into something better by using one simple thing. Wool. Yes, wool. Wool from fluffy sheep, bright and colourful, soft to the touch. This was their medium of choice. And this was to change the way landmarks looked around Dorking. Yarn bombs generally happen under the cover of darkness. Sometimes in disguise, the knitters move quickly, yarn bombing statues, railings, trees, benches, and even drain pipes. So I'm just making my way upstairs now to the studio above the shop at the Fluffatorium to see if I can meet some of these undercover yarn bombers that meet here every week and to see what they're going to be up to next. So obviously we can't tell you this knitter's real name, but so for the purposes of this interview we will refer to her as Pearl. Here she is just winding on some wool, getting ready for one of her special knitting sessions before she goes to yarn bomb in Dorking. So Pearl, I mean, how often do you make things to yarn bomb Dorking with?
We're always yarn bombing.
Okay, so I mean, what, you know, like once a week or once a month, or how often do you do your yarn bombing?
Every week we're working on it.
Right, I see.
But maybe every couple of months.
Oh, okay, every couple of months.
Should the occasion arise.
I see. And will you take on orders? We know if people ask you to yarn bomb things for them, will you do that, or really is it just up to the knitters?
I put it to my team, and if they're excited, we'll do it.
So here we have one of the undercover knitters knitting quite fast, as you can see, getting ready to transform the face of Dorking with a new yarn bomb over the Christmas period. Obviously we can't reveal her name or her face for obvious reasons, but you can see the work taking place here. There you have it, straight from the yarn bombers' mouths. This is something they obviously take very seriously. This has been Gillian Harris reporting for you from a transformed Dorking, Surrey, UK.
So there you have it. We are still unknown after 6 years, thank goodness. In fact, some even are unknown to their own families. I've got a list here, so I've done who, that's who we are. How? Well, it's actually weeks of preparation. So when an exciting project appeers, and we have been requested to do a few things actually, but the first thing actually was on the chicken, the cockerel, should I say. It was for the Jubilee, and it was Magda, a few things that Magda put online, and I had a book, and I just thought, oh, God's sake, we've got to wake Dorking up, for goodness sake. So we knitted a massive scarf. It was about 5 metres long to put around the cockerel, and that's what started it, actually. And so one night, 2 o'clock in the morning, because we knew we weren't allowed to go on the roundabout, I think there's actually bylaws and all sorts of stuff, we crept onto the roundabout at 2 o'clock in the morning, all dressed in black, and of course it's lit up like daylight, so with our ladders. Anyway, we adorned the cockerel And we're very looking at our work, thinking how proud we were of all our knitters. It took us about 2 months to make. Ladder in hand, we were creeping off up pools, an unmarked police car. And so we're all 50 plus, you know, with ladders in hand. He went, "What are you doing?" And we all went, "Oh, we're putting knitting on the chicken." Oh. And there was this deathly silence, and I thought, actually, I don't want to be arrested, even though I've been joking about it for months. And I don't think he knew what to say. I think actually he was more worried about what the station house would say when he brought in 50 plus knitters, you know. So he just went, "Don't do it again." And off he went. So after that we thought, well, it's carte blanche. So the first thing was for the Jubilee. The next thing, we had a brilliant year because then there was the Olympics. We made a massive, great gold medal for him. And then it's just gone on from there, really. So, and we like to have ideas. So if anybody has an idea, come in the shop, please, and tell us. But I also wanted to get a bit more, well, not serious about it, but Magda was talking about how it transforms. And like I said earlier, really it's about waking people up. You know, it's wake up. There's more to life than just this. And I really like that it stimulates creativity, it gets people excited. I get nagged, but people do know who I am. And I get nagged a lot for when's the next thing, when's the next thing? And kids come up to me and say, when's the next thing? So, you know, there is a thirst for something a bit different, a bit irreverent, a bit naughty, you know, that's not quite breaking the law, but sort of is as well. And then I think also my knitters are all ages, but generally older, retired people. And I love it that means that they're not marginalised, they're not forgotten. We're still creating, we're still excited, you know, it's keeping them alive and thinking outside the box. I really love that. And then there's also the psychological benefits of knitting and crochet and creating. We need that. It's actually, I've read an article where it's been prescribed for depression because it's rhythmic, it gets you out of your head, you're here instead, your fine motor movements, your breathing rate reduces, your heart rate reduces, and actually once you can do it, of course, it's a bit stressful to start with. Actually, I think it's very beneficial to everyone. Sadly, I don't get many men on my courses, and I would really like to see some more men, actually. Because 2 generations ago, we created all our own stuff. Men used to knit their own socks because mass production wasn't really affordable or prevalent. You know, we had to create our own garments. And I think it goes back to that. It goes back to an ancient clothing yourself, you know, making stuff for yourself, as well as beautiful, beautiful artwork, transforming wool into something beautiful. So I think that's all I've got to say, thanks. Thank you very much for having us. I'm really privileged to be here. I can't quite believe it, really. And I'm quite glad you can't see who I am as well. So, so thank you very much, TEDxDorking, and yeah, have a great day.